Hey guys, Jed for Hunt and Harvest. I'm down here in Cairns for the weekend. Brought the family down. We're going to go to the Australian Artillery Museum in Cairns tomorrow. The boys are very keen on that. And then in the afternoon the girls are all going to the ballet, going to see The Great Gatsby. So it should be a nice little relaxing weekend. The Artillery Museum says I'm allowed to record in there. They've got a shooting range. We're going to go and have a go at some of the ex-World War II rifles they've got there you can shoot. And there's an armoured personnel carrier ride, so we'll go for a ride in that. Some pretty cool tanks just out the front there without even going in. I think these are the old American ones. I think. If I remember from the little models I used to make when I was a kid.
Okay, where did the Americans used to get onto these tanks?
Probably at the front there where we just went past.
Oh.
Yeah.
All back here. Hey, is that a wasp nest? Or there's a beehive inside the tank.
A beehive in the tank, that's interesting.
Do these tanks still work? Is this an American model? This one looks pretty strong.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't recognise this one.
Come on, guys.
Hey folks, how we doing?
Not too bad, you?
It's another exciting day in paradise. It's not raining, it's all good.
Yeah.
You get the whole tribe.
Yeah, we've just from up on the table. It's the first time we've been here. Yeah, I'll do package 2 with a German Mauser, and a 303.
Alright.
Cool.
Well, just got these two to start off with. I'll rate the exhibit. Tickets good for 3 consecutive days, so you can.
This place is massive.
Yes. Oh, they've got a lot of guns.
These tanks are just massive.
Hell yeah. You would go to the Russian. Wow. Kinetic energy penetrators.
What are these? Is this what they fired?
It's like armor piercing rounds, yeah. Yeah, that's the more normal high explosive round. That's what I was used to in tanks. Howitzer, which has been split open at the end. That would have been unfortunate to be near. Light mortar, 7.58 centimetre
This one's tiny.
caliber. Tiny, tiny for a mortar, I suppose, but it's still a rather large round to get hit with.
Look at this. Ooh.
15 centimetre, 6 inch.
A toffee apple.
Toffee apple mortar bomb. Yeah. I'm not sure how. They just fired out of a standing mortar.
I realize how big they are when you're actually standing in front of one.
Yeah.
Quite intimidating.
Old mate in Tiananmen Square had balls, didn't he? Wow. Good God, I'm going to run out of batteries on the GoPro in this joint. It's huge. Russian surface-to-air missile. Jesus, what sort of a plane are you taking down with a missile that big? Surely that's surface-to-surface.
Surface to air.
Yeah. Geez, this camera's turned itself off at some stage, so I'm not sure what I've missed, but in case I do run out of batteries, I'm just gonna have a quick look around, show you all how big this joint is. This one here I thought was pretty cool. I don't know if the camera was on when I was looking at it before, but Churchill mine flail. So this is like a flail mulcher. This would spin around and clear a path as you drove along. If there was any landmines, they would get set off by these chains ripping through the ground. Pretty cool piece of machinery for clearing minefields. God, there's some machinery here. They would be cool little farm rigs. Cruising around the farm shooting pigs in one of them, what do you reckon?
This Australian made tank.
Tiny teddy.
I doubt it would be Australian made, but
What is that?
it says it's Australian, but I suppose we used to make things in this country. Designed in Australia in World War II. Yeah,
Why is it painted this
the only tank to be produced in quantity in Australia. Yeah. There you go. See, the things we used to be able to build in this country before our government systematically destroyed it. That is a cool piece of machinery. A bit like some of the cars we used to build here, they were good too. Both as anti-aircraft gun. I'm pretty sure that's what my grandfather used to use. Maybe not. I remember him telling me about them though.
This would be cool to drive in. Whoa.
Scout car.
Australian. It's pretty nice of the
Made in Australia. Why does it say American?
Never made. Melbourne.
Oh yeah. That is a rather large tank. I want to have a look at that. US M110 self-propelled howitzer. 8-inch howitzer. Yeah. Pretty cool. French. Where's their white flag?
The white flag. This.
These were like the amphibious, like I think they used to use them for loading up with
This is a
people
prison.
and driving through water.
Wouldn't they like load a car into there? It looks like they could fit a small jeep.
Landing vehicle, yeah, see?
Oh.
Drive from the boats into the beach, like they used them at Gallipoli and that, to drop off all the
A sea dragon.
soldiers from the big ships into the beaches.
Sea dragon.
Oh, long tom.
Hong Kong.
155mm. That is a large projectile.
This one's a good shovels and stuff as well.
Yeah, despite the big tracks and everything, they still did get stuck in places and have to dig them out, or at least clear the mud from the tracks. Sometimes chop down big trees. Whew. That is a large tank with a very short barrel.
Oh,
Maybe it's missing the barrel. No, it just had a very short barrel.
What?
It's a landing vehicle one too.
Landing vehicle. This one, Dad.
That's pretty cool. That'd be anti-aircraft, yeah. I think.
Looks like it's shooting off an aircraft.
50 cal Brownings.
This is a cool vehicle. It's this thing on the back. It's pretty cool.
You can get the same rounds that they fire through these. You can get a rifle that shoots them.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah.
See this vehicle here?
Yep.
That's that vehicle right there.
Is it?
Right here.
Mm-hmm.
So if you put this one, you can put it on the back of this one.
Yes, you
That
could.
would be pretty cool.
Very cool. That one's already got a
machine.
BMG up in the top.
I
Half
wish you
track.
could ride them.
Cool. Janet Jackson.
Jackson over here and Janet on the side.
Tank destroyer. That's cool too.
Were these
Scout car.
bomb-proof, Dad? Were these tanks bomb-proof?
No, not really.
Oh.
Look at all the different types of artillery shells. God, there's some monsters. Ooh. So the Russian KV-1S tank had 60 mil thick armor plating, and they were testing some anti-tank rounds on it. See how easily it goes through it. Wow, that is intense. So there you go, mate. No, the tanks are not bomb-proof. These are, some of these guns fire rounds which just go straight through metal that thick. That's a cool little World War One. It's actually Russian. Don't know why it's got the German first. That was the German symbol in the First World War before Hitler came up with the swastika for the Second World War.
This one just has 2 mini guns.
Another Russian one. That's cool. Yeah, they're tiny little guns. They're only 303, 7.62. But they're machine guns, a bit like those Bren guns we saw downstairs. These are cool little tanks.
Yeah.
I'd have one. Oh. Man, this place rocks. They've got some awesome machinery here. I'm a bit amazed at how much stuff he's got here. The motors out of those things.
If you had one of the big tanks, what would you do with it?
Drive it around the farm. Take it camel shooting.
Camel shooting? You mean camel like...
These like mines over here. Is there? Anti-tank mines, yeah. See those ones? Big mines, yeah. If your tank drives on top of it, it explodes and at least wrecks the tracks so they can't go anywhere, if not actually destroys the tank.
I'm pretty sure it would just destroy the tanks, judging by how big they are.
No, tanks are pretty solid. You saw how thick the walls are.
I'm putting them in here.
Yeah, they're heavy vehicles with metal tracks. They're not very forgiving on the road. That's a cool little Jeep.
Oh, this is cool. Yeah, we should come back tomorrow to do the rides. You know the rides?
Oh yeah, we'll ask him if that APC ride is on tomorrow.
Yeah. look at these.
Yeah, there's some pretty cool machines here, eh?
So new. This looks so new.
Well, it's just been painted not long before it got put in here. It's not a new car, but new tyres and paint makes it look pretty new.
What about a new engine? Everything's been completely gutted out inside it. This would be pretty cool to drive.
All the British stuff is least impressive.
Yeah. Yeah. Germans very good at engineering. They used to be far in front of the Western world.
Look, they look solid.
Yeah.
This is a motorbike. Somehow.
Yeah. Motorbike with tracks.
I'd love to ride this thing. I'd take this motorbike for taking Ace for a run, just driving this.
Yeah. Very cool.
And then two other people could sit in the back here. Like, you could drive it and
Little trailer for it.
And then like, this is just so cool.
Holy hell, we've got a whole nother area up here we haven't even been into yet. Little Volkswagen amphibious vehicle. Very cool.
I would actually love it.
Yeah, so would I. It's awesome. More Volkswagens.
And motorbikes.
German sidecar motorbike.
This would just be look, the speed dial literally goes up to 120. It can go as fast as today's motorbikes, pretty much. The ones like you drive and everything, like faster than a 125. That's pretty good. Hey, what's the point of that one?
German stuff.
Yeah. Oh, there's a Hummer.
Hummer. Yeah, Hummer me. Hummer, I love this. Hummer.
Mm-hmm. Haven't had a look through here yet. Jesus. How did the Germans lose? They had all the best stuff. Yeah.
There's even a plane on the roof. What? Is this some vehicle supposed to stick out as it's driving to get them to shoot at it?
Probably for Arctic warfare
Arctic.
in the snow.
They're fighting in the snow now.
Oh, in Russia they did. That's kind of how they lost. Trying to take Russia in winter.
Erica.
Erica. What's Erica?
Girl's name.
Written on that tank.
Why else the name tanks after women as well? They are destructive.
Yeah. Hell hath no fury. Flying bomb. That's what that thing is. It's not a plane, it's a flying bomb.
Wait, that's a bomb?
Yeah.
Holy.
Holy hell. 80 centimetre railway gun shell case. This is a shell casing. Imagine the projectile. Wow. There's a dude standing next to one.
What is this?
That's a bullet casing. There's an 80 centimetre diameter on the projectile that thing fired.
A bullet. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We're done, and we've done some reference points for joining back
Oh,
together.
yeah. Oh,
After we cut it and
machine gun pillbox.
What's a bullet?
People used to sit in there like that to protect them from getting shot or blown up.
Then how do you get
Just
out?
a door at the back.
Wait, they have to climb in through this.
Mm-hmm. Sit in there and shoot out the hole.
I'd never shoot it.
3 ton.
3 ton, yeah?
I'd never shoot in that thing.
This is a guided tour you can get if you're interested. They take you through and explain from a historian's point of view about some of this stuff. Get some pretty interesting stories from what he's learnt in his career as a historian.
England and France, Russia and Germany say, okay, they've always occupied, the Germans, the Austrians and the Russians have always sort of controlled Poland for most of its modern history. So they say, okay, they'll split Poland 50-50. So Stalin, being Stalin, says, well, that's not really enough. He said, I need the Baltic states, Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia. So you've got to throw those in to sweeten the deal for me. And also the Finns are really close to Leningrad, and I want more territory there. I want a swag of territory up their border, up to a town called Petsamo up the top, which mines nickel, which is used to make armour. And I want some islands in the Baltic for naval bases. So Hitler, being a very generous man, probably a bit of a soft touch, Hitler says, sure, you can have that. Then again, maybe it was because Hitler was going to invade Russia next year and he'd get it back anyway, so it didn't matter. So they invade Poland, they split Poland, then in 1940 he attacks France. Now in France, the Germans do something miraculous in warfare. They do the Blitzkrieg. For the first time ever, the Germans figured out how to use tanks by a man named Manstein, who was described as the only genius of the 20th century. And the Germans break through with their tanks and get through the Ardennes and go hell for the Channel Coast. Aided by Prothetan, methamphetamine, German tank crews are given lots and lots of Prothetan tablets, and that keeps them awake for days on end, so they can do what they do. So the Germans are racing for the Channel Coast, and on the 20th of May, the Germans reach the Channel Coast, and all they have to do now is rear the Panzer Division, 20th Panzer Division, or 10th Panzer Division on the coast, and they'll take Boulogne, Calais, and Dunkirk, trapping the British Army. And Hitler wins World War II. And this tank stopped him.
He just mentioned this tank here. The museum got a couple of years ago for $28 million. So I can only imagine what the whole collection here is worth. It would be hundreds of millions. At least. Don't know who's providing all the money for that, but it's pretty impressive.
So right hand around there. Yep, you can rest it on the bench if you want. Okay, look down the scope with your right eye. Can you see your target? Now with this hand, push that bolt all the way, pull block it out. So good. Yep, push the bolt forward. Yeah. Alright, line him up. Squeeze the trigger. All the way up. All the way up. That's bad, yeah. Rock it down.
Pretty simple for LA. Probably a little bit more.
All the way forward.
James.
Right hand there, yep. Back down there. Okay, nice and permanent shoulder. Look down to the side. Can you see the red dot? Now with the left hand, nice and quick slide forward. Got a little bit, not much. So slide forward. That's it. Put the red dot on the target. Yep, that's it. Loud, but you've got your protection on.
It's fine, James.
Yeah, sure thing. There you go.
Not
Nice and
bad.
easy. Pull it back. All the way forward.
That's it.
That's it. Make sure it goes all the way in. Doing well. Right on the bench for me. Well done. There you go. You're pretty good.
Tell me.
There you go, mate.
Yeah, just take your hearing protection off. Bring it back up on the hook up for me.
Ooh. It's a bit smelly over here. Let you go, Jake.
Yeah, the rear sight on the 303 is pretty large. You're
Yeah.
trying to get that point in the middle
Right
of that.
in the
It's a
middle,
little bit
yeah.
different, but
Bad.
Want to stick pen for yourself? You can roll it up and take it with you.
thank you.
No worries, guys.
Awesome.
All right, was that loud out here?
Yes.
No? Yes?
Soundproof.
Oh, look at all these cool guns.
I know. It's cannon.
Tommy gun. I want a Tommy gun.
What's a Tommy gun?
Thompson submachine gun. You can get them with a drum mag as well. They're even cooler. 50 round drum mag. I think that's a 20. Yep. Oh, there is.
Machine gun.
Yeah.
What about that?
That is also a machine gun.
What about that? Machine gun.
That's a 50 BMG.
Yeah, I got a picture. What about these guns? Which one do you got?
I want all of these guns.
Okay, so I'll take a picture.
Those are like RPG, rocket propelled grenades. They're like a bazooka. What? Yeah, they've got a bit of recoil depending on the type. Brand gun. Sweet. Oh, why aren't we allowed cool stuff like this in Australia? Yeah, how cool would one of them be?
Just pull the thing. That's just metal.
Who knew there was so many types of grenades, huh?
Yeah. Literally, see the US one in there? That's how I picture grenades looking.
Normal grenade,
Yeah.
yeah. I know the German stick grenades, they were
What?
pretty cool.
I didn't even know there was weird ones like that and that.
Oh, you can go in there, can you? Playing war games.
Look at this one. It's a giant rocket launcher.
Run out of battery on the GoPro, so I'm just filming a bit more on my phone before we go. The younger kids are a bit bored with it. Been here a couple of hours, so there's actually a little playground over there that they're all spending a bit of time in, just through there. So yeah, if you come here with your kids and they get bored, you can send them off to the playground for a bit while you finish the tour. There is unbelievable amount of things to see and learn about World War I and II artillery in this place. Panzer tank. The Germans had some really cool stuff. Your ticket that you buy is valid for 3 days, so you can come back the next day and the day after if you want to just do one day on your own and then come back for a guided tour. They only do the guided tours on Saturday apparently, and the time they've got this guy that comes in. I was just talking to one of the guys that runs the place. This is the 4th biggest Armour museum in the world, the biggest in the Southern Hemisphere. They got 3 or 4 exhibits that nobody else in the world has got, some of these machines. Yeah, so pretty impressive place. Unfortunately, the rides, the armoured personnel carrier rides, are not running at the moment. The Humvee one, the starter motor's gone in it, and the other one they're having some issue with, and the only guy that can drive it is away on holidays. So if you're ever in Cairns, well worth a look to this artillery museum if you're interested at all in this type of thing. So many of these very cool machines, and they've all got little plaques with descriptions and stats and what they were used for, where they were made, all sorts of information about them. Far too much to talk about on one little video like this.